Hi, welcome. In this video, I'd like to take a couple minutes to talk about testing the motives of the dog to really understand that there is something behind response, the reasons, why dogs respond within the parameters of that, and the motives that underpin response at the relational level. It's based off the relationship, how and why dogs will do the things they do within certain interactions. Now, one of the tests to understand a little bit about motives to help people understand there's something to this and to step back a little bit is just through the basic interaction with the down position. Now, again, this is where if you watch a dog could be holding, again, I talk about this issue of power, okay, and about control and motives, but you'll start to get a sense of this as you put the motives to the test within certain interactions. Again, one of these is when the dog is beside you on the leash, and the dog goes into the down position on their own without you saying anything, doing anything. They just settle right down into it, okay? But then to test the motives, okay, you can put this to the test, is when they're in a sit position, is for you to start to bring the dog under a reasonable request, okay, reasonable influence. I talk about what's reasonable, and to put the dog into the down position. Okay, now this is where, again, and again, the people get all confused. They want to use treats and commands and expectations of something, but again, this is the thing where their motives are rotten. Okay, you have to start to get a sense of what I'm talking about. Make these connections so you understand that, okay, there's something to this. And so again, dogs in the sit position is for you to take your hand, put it on top of the dog's shoulder blades, and for you to put the dog into the down position by asserting influence, by pushing. Now again, this is the thing about intent. Dogs do know the intent of what you want, even though you haven't said the down command. But if it makes you feel better, okay, you can say the down command as you're pushing, okay? Very clear that you have to just not say, you've got to be pushing, but start the pushing process before you say the word down. Give it a second or two to start to push on your dog's shoulder blades within, again, reasonable influence, and see what happens. I pretty much guarantee you that the dog is not going to want to go down, okay? If the dog is holding power, control, and the motives are rotten, you're going to see this kickback. You're going to see the dog challenge this. But again, you have to ask some tough questions. I mean, the dog not, even if you didn't use the command, okay, this is where the system goes deeper. Does the dog know the intent of what your intent is? What's this whole idea about learning anyway? See, people get very twisted up in this stuff. No, the dog absolutely knows the intent, okay, with how influence comes online, how that communicates through how you're asserting influence, okay? Dogs know the intent. But it's about motives, okay? Just understand, it's all about motives. So again, this is why dogs will go down on their own. They're just fine. But you start to assert reasonable influence, start to communicate that, you're going to see high challenge. It'll blow your mind because that's one of the things. There's some tough things here that really will expose this mainstream idea of things, this whole issue about response and using motivating agents, and how that sets up, and expectations of this whole picture of what it's meant to do. And so anyway, just something to think about. That's one way to put the motives to the test with the dog. It's about motives. Again, you'll see this on the walk on the street. This is why dog wants to be out in front. It wants to start to gain position. It's mind and body. It's all connected. It's about motives. But if you bring the dog start to assert influence and bring the dog beside you and start to define this script a little bit, again, the motives will be exposed, because it's very important that I just understand when it comes to fixing dogs is make sure all the cards are on the table. You have to be able to understand this issue about motives, response, and control to start to be able to discern what's real and what's a counterfeit. And not just that, again, the fix is through right relationship. Be able to go further and say, okay, I know there's a serious problem here. What's the best way to fix it? So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me anytime. I'd be more than happy to answer them.